Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. Let's talk about Giannis dropping 50 plus points without Dame Dollar. No Dame, no problem. Giannis balled out. This man went crazy. Brook Lopez, he did his thing. They had no Bobby Portis also. So no Dame, no Bobby. No problem. Giannis threw the team on his back. Jackson Jr., he played well. And I like that young dude, man. I really like that young dude. From the last time when they lost, the game they lost versus the Celtics when Jackson Jr. was doing his thing defensively. This kid is a beast on the defensive end. He was doing his thing. Fourth quarter, Doc brought Dame back in. Dame got exploited because he's too small and he plays no defense. And offensively, he was off. And that's all she wrote. Game, basically. Now Dame, he's injured or whatever the hell is going on with him. And ever since Dame's been on the bench, they're winning. They are winning. Is this a coincidence? I think not. This is not a coincidence. They're winning because now the defense is better. You have players who actually want to play defense. They're going to commit to defense and stopping people and doing all the extras and intangibles you need to win games. Giannis is going to do what Giannis do. You ain't got to worry about that. You just need players who's going to give effort on the defensive end. Jackson Jr., he'll do that. He's young, athletic. He's energetic. He'll chase you down. He'll try to block. He give effort. This kid give effort. As you saw in the game versus the Celtics when they lost. When he was in the game, he had like 2 blocks. The man had chase down blocks. He was just energy, man, and effort. Will, the want to. And this is what Dame don't give you. Dame don't give you effort. The only effort he give you is on the offensive end. Dame will give you effort if he got to score the basketball. He got to shoot. But when you need him to lock in, lock somebody down, make some stops, he can't do it. Or he's not trying to do it. He's lazy on the defensive end. And if you're not trying or willing, if you are not going to give any kind of effort defensively, you can't win a championship. You got to make some sacrifices. So even if you're not a great defender, it's whatever. But at least try. We all respect effort. You don't got to be the greatest. But just knowing you tried, you gave it your best. And Dame is not willing to do that. Hence why whenever Dame is in the game, the defense goes all the way down because he plays none. If you watch the games, you could see it. He don't commit to any kind of defense. So this is why you need Dame to sit out. And Doc Rivers, he have no choice. He got to play Dame. Number one, he's making too much. And number two, if you don't play him, he's going to have resentment. He's going to feel a way about you. So Doc is in a situation where he kind of have to play Dame even if he don't want to. So this man, his hand is being forced basically. Doc ain't stupid. Nobody on that coaching staff is stupid. They all know. They all know. They all know what we know. If we're watching the game and we could see what's going on, they could see it. Of course, Doc, like I said again, there's so much he could do, but he knows he could see it. I'm sure he's happy Dame is out. He might not say it, but he knows because this dude is killing us on the defensive end. He's a liability. So as soon as Dame went to the sidelines, he's not playing, they're 2-0. They finally start winning games. Because Doc is not a bad coach. You don't win a championship being a bad coach. You don't end up one of the 10 greatest coaches in NBA history being a bad coach. It's not possible. Yes, he could make some adjustments here, there, okay, but he's not a bad coach. We all know he's not a bad coach. But when you have a superstar who plays zero defense and he's undersized, you are going to look like a bad coach because he's being exploited. He's not trying. There's no effort. He gives up so much points, man. So yes, Dame is a major problem. I'm sure they're like, damn, we made a mistake when we traded Drew Holiday. I'm sure the front office is like, damn, us trading Drew Holiday was the biggest mistake we have ever made. And it was. But that's done. What's done is done. Drew is in Boston. We all have Boston making the finals again in the East, the Eastern Conference Finals. If you know basketball, you already have them pinned in, locked in. They're going to make the finals. Now, the question is, who will make the Eastern Conference Finals with Boston? Will it be Milwaukee, New York, the Cavs, who's on fire right now? But that's another story. So the Bucks, they're winning, and I hope they continue this winning streak, man. It's only 2, but you know what? You got to start somewhere. So right now, they're about 4-8. Not the best record, but all they got to do is go on a winning streak. Win 3-4 more games. You end up at 500, and you go from there. You just want to get to 500. Once you get to 500, you could go from there. You could build on that. Don't worry about what's ahead. Just try to get to 500, and you go from there. And the East is weak anyway, so even though they started off bad, and it's a long season, that's the great part. It's a long season. Even though right now they're at the bottom, give it a few weeks, 2-3 weeks from now, they could be at the top. They could be in the top 5 because the East is weak, so they're not too far off. They just got to win games, and Doc got to figure out what he want to do with Dame Dollar, man, because he's a defensive liability, especially when you play a team like Boston, who have a lot of big guards. All their guards are big. That's Dame's Achilles heel. Teams with big guards, because you could exploit him. Get him in a get him in a mismatch, a switch, and he's barbecue chicken. So Giannis put the team on his back, scored a 50 plus, he did what he had to. The man did what he needed to. At the same time, it's crazy that they're struggling against Detroit. I mean, they won in overtime, they won in OT, but just to say, like, man, they're even struggling with Detroit. Like, this is the Bucks we're talking about. Like, even if Dame is not available, they have a better team than Detroit. So, yeah, they got the win. Either way, a win is a win. But, man, Doc got to figure out what he needs to do with Damian Lillard, man, because he's a major problem. He's a major problem. Nowadays, most people could score. Not saying they're great as Dame putting the ball in the basket, but you're going to need some defense, man, especially in crunch time. The game is close. You got to make some stops. You got to lock some people down. You're going to need players who are committed to locking people down, making stops, giving effort. Dame ain't that. He have never been that. And as you can see, the minute he's no longer playing, he's on the bench, the Bucks, they're winning. As soon as Dame is out the equation, they're back to winning. If they win a few more games without Dame, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Dame, man. Because now it's going to be like, okay, when I wasn't around, they started winning. Now I came back, we're losing again. You don't want to be that guy. Like, man, the team is losing because of me. That's a bad feeling, man. So Dame is going to have to figure it out himself. If you can't play defense or you're not willing to, you better make sure you're on fire. Every game, you're efficient and those threes are falling and you are on fire. So if you're not going to play any kind of defense or you're not going to give any effort, you have to compensate with offense, elite offense. You got to be scoring the ball efficiently, setting your players up, your teammates for easy buckets. You got to do the other things. If you're not going to play defense, you got to compensate somewhere. You can't be bad on defense and you're struggling on offense. So Dame is under pressure. Doc is under pressure. Dame is under pressure. They're both under a lot of pressure to perform. So far, Doc is 2-0, so he's doing okay. Now, when Dame returns, he have to make sure they win these games. You can't be losing, but when they remove you from the team, they're winning. Because now it's like highlighted, like he's the problem. And all eyes is on Dame Dollar right now. But yeah, man, it's a good win for the Bucks. Giannis threw the entire team on his back. Giannis did what he had to. He went into playoff mode, dropped almost 60 to get the win. Sometimes you're going to have to do that. You're going to have games where you need to drop 60 points. Sometimes you got to do that. Not often, but you have to do what's necessary to win. And Giannis did that. Now let's see if they could win another game and another game. One game at a time. Get back to 500 and you go from there. because I want to see this team succeed. You know, I want to see the Bucks and the Celtics in the playoff. We all want to see that. But they got to get it together, man. And Doc got to figure out the best way to utilize Damian Lillard. What is the best way to utilize Dame and protect him? Because you got to protect him. You have to protect him from being exploited. The same way Golden State protects Stephen Curry. They protect him on defense because they know he's vulnerable. Not as much as Dame, because Dame is very small. I'm talking about height. He's only 6 feet. But it's a good win, man. What more can I say? But as always, I'll holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.